Oh, hi, YouTube. It's funny, my son and I were talking earlier. We were just listening to the TV, and naturally, this time of year, all we kept hearing about was Trump, 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 Donald Trump. And we both said, man, oh man, oh man, wouldn't it be nice to just go a day without hearing about Trump? I went, yeah, yeah, yeah. So naturally, tonight I'm going to do a video about Trump. I thought I would do his astrology, Trump's chart. He seems like a fascinating guy, no matter what your opinions are about him. You got to admit, at the very least, he's certainly very interesting. So I thought I would just do a cursory look at the president's chart here. I know that feels funny. So he's born June 14th, 1946, which makes him a Gemini. 1946, that's the year of the dog. So whatever you think about dogs, when you think about them, they're loyal, and but also, people say, hey, that guy's a dog. He might be. I think he probably likes the ladies a little bit, but he's also a birth path number of 4. And remember that the 4th house is Cancer, which rules home and security and things like that. So, this is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with America. America. This number 4 is going to come up a few times here. So with this Gemini, I think, at first I thought he might be the first Gemini president since probably JFK. I think maybe Bush Sr. might be a Gemini too. I can't be sure of that. But I know JFK definitely was, and he certainly embodies the Gemini type a lot more than Bush Sr. would. And certainly Trump definitely embodies the Gemini too. Now he's got a moon in Sagittarius. Now right away, that's a sun and moon opposition. So Sagittarius, that's the sign of the pioneer or the maverick, and those things definitely fit. When he wants to do something, he just does it. But I think he put some thought into it too. Remember, the Gemini is mental acumen. It's now I'm going to leave the Back to the Future things aside. That could be a whole other video about Trump being in office because of he does look quite a bit like Biff. And I always sort of thought that Back to the Future had this sort of Gemini layover that, with the winged messenger and things like that, the 88 miles per hour. I'll do that in another video, but I thought I'd hint about it now. But anybody I've noticed with that sun and moon opposition, they're always polarizing people to some degree. And you could definitely say Trump is polarizing, if anything. I think, as I said before, I'm intrigued by him. I don't know him personally, so I don't know. Now, he's also got the Leo rising. Now, Leo rising, those guys, they're almost always well known for their sort of regal appearance, and he's got that big, leonine, mane of hair. Say about it what you will. It's definitely distinct. So, I mean, he certainly looks like a powerful man when you see him. He's tall. That's another thing. Like JFK, they both have actually, they're fairly tall, imposing figures. Now, he's also got Mars conjunct his ascendant. So that means this guy gets shit done. And big, big things. When we're talking about Leo, we're not talking about small things. These people are winners. So when he said, I'm going to run for president, he did it. He did. He wasn't kidding. I thought he was. He wasn't. He did it. So, I mean, these people go and get it. Now, his midheaven is Taurus. Now, midheaven's your public image, and Taurus is really the sign of bling, right? It certainly fits here. And it's also the sign of work, too. I mean, Taurus they work. This is the whole thing he ran on, was jobs, and he's serious about it. He's bringing jobs back. Now, with Mars squaring his ascendant, he's certainly meeting a lot of opposition on almost every step of the way. I mean, we can see this every night. But it's all based on whether or not, this is, Mars, this is squaring his ascendant. All of this opposition is based on whether or not people like him personally. So this is dealing with his personality more than anything. So dominant signs, this is where they've got the most well-aspected planets in their signs. He's got a lot of Leo energy in his chart, and that fits. That's the spotlight. That's the king. That's the winner. A lot of Gemini, Sun's in Gemini, and I think it's Uranus is in Gemini. So this is communication and this is cleverness. And this is a guy who, he's the Twitter president. I follow his Twitter. It's he keeps you right up to date, right to the minute. But remember also too with Geminis, they can change their mind like that. So I always tell people, when people kind of go, "Oh, Trump is this and he's really terrible," I always say, it could change. But also a lot of Cancerian energy, and this is where I think these American values come from. This is security. So this is where we're talking about this border stuff and. Like it or whatever, he's serious about it. Now remember, USA was also founded in Cancer. It's a Cancer country, so this is all about it. Historically, it's always been about law and order and security and protection. It's not as freewheeling as everybody maybe would like it to be, but it wasn't founded with that in mind. Although those values may be nice on the surface, I understand what draws people to them. Now, he has Mercury and Venus in Cancer. So when he says he loves America, I think he means it. I think he does truly love America. And I don't think that's popular with everybody. And this is where he also has Saturn in Cancer, too. And that's the resistance that he's meeting from particularly the old outgoing regime. So, but I do think the sincerity is there. Now, a lot of this Cancerian energy and all this stuff is happening in the 11th house. This is the house of media. This is ruled by Uranus and Aquarius. Remembering that he has Uranus conjunct his sun. So this man will be in the media. Count on it. So this 11th house, I mean, this is a guy who knows how to play the media and be in it, and it's always been that way. So that Sun-Uranus conjunction, actually, I think a lot of this information, too, I think he has a lot of 10th house stuff, too, which is accomplishments. So I think that the Cancerian stuff, I think, is the stuff that's in the 11th house, and the 10th house stuff, I think that's the Sun-Uranus conjunction. And that's the house of accomplishments. And he's a winner, let's face it. No one, including me. I mean, Uranus, remember, rules unpredictability and just sudden changes and things like that. No one saw this one coming, least of all me. I remember a year ago saying, "Oh, this guy's a clown candidate. He's not serious." Here we are, right? So that's it. That's Uranus. It's like best symbolized as the Tower card. 16 was the Tower card. I've done a video on that nobody's clicking on, but, click on it. It's good. So another thing that I noticed is he does have Mars in his 12th house. This is suggesting that he does a lot of this action in secrecy and by surprise. So his methods aren't always known to everybody. I think there's some secrecy about how he conducts the things that he conducts, or maybe he has some friends that he conducts this stuff with in some hidden places. I can't be sure about that. I'd actually have to look at how that 12th house is aspected a bit to look at a little more. But either way, I think the Trump that we know on screen is pretty darn close to the Trump you get, So definitely a fascinating character, to say the least. So I guess that's it for right now.